Some of you indicated a problem with modulus and how that works. Um, let's do a short example. And what I have here is some code which will, and this is in the body of our web page. I have some JavaScript on our web page, and we're declaring two variables, num1 and num2, and initializing the first one to the value the integer 5, the second one to the integer 2. Now, what is modulus? Modulus is that little percent sign between numbers. So, what is 5 modulus 2? Let me pull up Notepad. So, what is 5 modulus, that's a percent sign, 2? Another way of saying this is, what is 5 divided by 2? But what we want is the remainder. We don't want the actual whole number that comes from this. We want the remainder that comes from this. So if I divided 2 into 5, what would I get? Well, 2 goes into 5 twice, right? And what would the remainder be? The remainder would be 1, right? So 2 divided into 5 goes 2 times with a remainder of 1. So you can take a minute and get some scratch paper and kind of doodle that out, but you'll get a remainder of 1 on that. And that's what modulus is it says, take this first number, divide by the second number, and give me the remainder. All right, let's see if that works. Might need this. So I'm going to view this in the browser. Save the changes, sure, why not? And I've got my H3 example modulus right here. And then in my document.writeLine, or write it to the web page, I say do a line break, then say the modulus of space, the modulus of space, the first number, in this case it's 5, modulus second number, or divided by the second number. And what is the result of this? Well, the result of this is 1. And I probably shouldn't use the equal sign here. That may be confusing. But if I say, instead of equal sign, I say is. And then and then I've got the calculation here. Number 1 modulus number 2. Okay, so go ahead and try this with different numbers. What would be 10 modulus 2? So go ahead and doodle that out. And what's the answer to this? 10 modulus 2. So how many times does 2 go into 10? And what is the remainder? What is the remainder? View in browser, save it yes. And our web page, oops, where'd our web page go? Here it is. Our web page says the modulus of 10, the integer 10 modulus 2 is 0. Now why is that? Because 2 divides into 10 an equal number of times, so it goes into 10 5 times, and there is no remainder. So there is no remainder, that means the remainder is 0. Okay. So try some other numbers. How about 7,599. Okay. And let's say modulus 5. Now, I'd have to sit down and do the division, but 5 divided into this, how many times, whole number, and what the remainder would be. Yeah, let's go ahead and try it and see. In the browser, yes. And let me bring that up. And the answer is 4. So the remainder is 4. And if you were to do the math on that, I'm sure you'd find that's true. Okay, so try that and put in different numbers and see if you get the right result. So what would 7 modulus 5 be? Okay. So what would anything modulus 2 be? Any whole number, any integer number, modulus 2. And let me see. I've got some code hanging around somewhere. And I'm going to put this in the between the head tags. And I'll leave you a copy of this, but in this particular case, I've got a function called modulus, and I don't really need to do this, but I'm just saying I'm creating a variable called I for our for statement, and I is starting off with the value of 1. Keep repeating this as long as I is less than 10 or it's equal to 10. And each time through, increment it once. So it's going to loop. I is going to be 1 the first time. It's going to loop. I is going to be 2. I is going to be 3. I is going to be 4. So on and so forth. Okay, so the first time through, it's going to have I, or 1, modulus 2. So what is 1 divided by 2? Well, 2 does not go into 1, so it's going to be 0 times. And the remainder is going to be 1. Okay, the next time through, I is going to be equal to 2. And what is 2? What is 2 modulus 2? 0? That makes sense? How about the next time? 3 modulus 2. So what is 3 divided by 2? 2 goes into 3 once with a remainder of 1. 4 modulus 2, 5 modulus 2, 6 modulus 2. Let's go ahead and try this and see what it... So I'm going to call this function. I can just put the name of the function in here. Modulus. Hey, there it is. Okay. And let's view this in browser, save this. And let's see what we came up with. Well, we have the first one, which is the first part of our code here. And that's going to be 7 modulus 2, which should be, let's change that with that 7 modulus 5. 7 modulus 5 and 7 modulus 5, the remainder is 2. 5 divides into 7 once with a remainder of 2. Okay. And then I call this function, and this function jumps up here and executes this code right here, which is going to loop through 10 times. Okay. And so this starts right here. And you notice a pattern there. If it's an odd number, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, the remainder is going to be 1. If it's an even number, then it's going to be 0. So this is a handy way of determining if a number is odd or if it's even. So it's either going to be 1, which is true in Boolean terms, or 0, which is false in Boolean terms. Okay. That's all on modulus. I'll stop right there.